So here I am, back out in nature again. It's Sunday, I think it's the 24th of February, I might be mistaken. Yes, no, it's the 24th because I had a dental appointment tomorrow and I've cancelled it. In a different woods today, again, only a stone's throw from where I live, thankfully. So, couple of shocks though, which is unusual. I've got Bill and Ted with me, if I can turn this round and you can see them. There they go. So this is all new, this place, to these guys. Well, not to Teddy, the white one, but to Billy. As you can see, he's having a great old time. Quickly, if I can, because this has been running for a few minutes now. I was writing something down this morning, and as I usually do when I get up and have my morning routine, a bit of meditating, some stretching, different things that I learnt on a pain management course, and it puts me in good stead for the day ahead. Try and get yourself feeling more positive when you're actually feeling a bit rubbish. So yeah, started to write a bio for my YouTube channel, which obviously you're watching now, and took a few pointers down from, apologies for that, which I'll try and just explain briefly some of the drugs that I was on last year, because I came off all opiate medication. I think it was around about the end of September, and I changed my diet and really changed my way of life. I've been practicing mindfulness for 8 years anyway, so I took a snapshot on my other phone of some of the drugs that I've been on over the last 12 years. So medications that I was on from 2005, because I got quite a painful back problem that gives me sciatica in my legs, and I've got some nerve damage that affects my toilet habits, so I don't go to the toilet naturally anymore, unfortunately, after having I'm not sure, I think it was due to an intervention that I had about 9 years ago. I had Radio Frequency Ablation treatment, whereby they sever the nerves in your back, your spine, whichever. It's quite a complex procedure, because you have, prior to having the nerves severed, you have them frozen twice to see if they're hitting the right place where you're having all the pain. Which was the case, and they froze the nerves twice, and it worked really well. And then I had the nerves, the laser them, obviously, go through them, but then what tends to happen is they can reform. So if you imagine you cut through a cable, a 3-core electric cable, and you've got, let's say, green, blue, and red, let's say, for instance, and then suddenly, so you cut through it with a pair of wire cutters or scissors or whatever, and then it just reforms, but the colours that were green may latch onto the blue, and the blue to the green, and you end up with different problems. So excuse me, which affected my bowel and made me incontinent, and so I use a pump now to empty my bowel, which is I've got used to that. I've been using that about 6 years. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. I don't dwell on things anymore, so it is what it is, and it was what it was at the time. So this is the list of opiates that I was on, believe it or not. Since 2005 until 2018, so I was on OxyContin. I think the highest dose of OxyContin I was on at 1.320 milligrams a day, and I was taking Oxynorm, which is like a top up during the day, every 4 hours. So I was taking 10 milligrams of that every 4 hours, and alongside that I was also taking pregabalin, which I was on the maximum dose for over 10 years of pregabalin, I think, which was 300 milligrams, I think it was. So yeah, then I came off the OxyContin and the Oxynorm because I had a pump fitted into my stomach, which is quite a big metal pump. It's called an intrathecal pump, and it has a catheter from that which goes around into your spine, and that was dropping pure morphine into my spinal space to try and combat a lot of the pain that I was having in my legs and my back. Unfortunately, I got a lot of really bad side effects from that, so I had to have the pump emptied, at which point I went on to, I went on to a drug called tapentadol, which I'm not sure if anybody's been on it, but it was a mixture of, I think it's quite a relatively new drug, and I was told at the time that it was basically a mixture of similar to OxyContin and pregabalin, but without taking the OxyContin and the pregabalin, so the effects should have been the same, but I didn't have that much effect on myself. I was also taking 1,000 milligrams of Carbamazepine for my face, for the brain condition, the Trigeminal Neuralgia at the time, but that didn't help. I was on lamotrigine, which is another drug for trigeminal neuralgia. I'll try and get through this as quick as I can. So I have been on Oxynorm, OxyContin, Oromorph, which is a liquid. I've been on tramadol, amitriptyline, duloxetine, venlafaxine, and fluoxetine, which are antidepressants, but again work on nerve pain. Pregabalin, gabapentin, tapentadol as mentioned. I had 2 years on methadone, carbamazepine for my face, lamotrigine, melatonin because I was having real problems sleeping. I used to have testosterone injections, and the morphine injections that went into the metal pump that is still inside my stomach, which I'm waiting to have out in the very near future, hopefully. I came off all those drugs, albeit I was on them for 13 years, and I decided last year to come off them and go onto a plant-based diet, and to see if I could retrain my brain against a lot of the pain that I was having. And it basically, up until now, it's been a real success. I'm probably enjoying life as much as I've ever done. I have a good quality of life. I keep myself busy as much as I can. I research a lot of things. I try and live my life, well, I do live my life mindfully, but I try and execute my days into being a better person that I can be every day. and it's only really by the fact that I'm out here in these surroundings that I'm able to talk without getting these shocks in my face, which again is a bonus. So that's 10 minutes on this particular video, and I think it's going to be quite a long video this, but hey ho, it is what it is. The two dogs are eating some grass, which usually is a sign that they've got some kind of a tummy upset, so I'll have to keep my eye on those. We got them there, and I'm gonna head back now. I may just have 5 minutes of meditation.